All right, this is the daily chart of BBRY. BBRY is simply setting up to go higher. However, it still needs more time, and there are multiple buy point strategies in this. So this isn't really a clear-cut buy, but an explanation of what's possibly happening here, based on what I've been seeing. So basically, when BlackBerry rallied, I realized around this time that there was a resistance in the 1025 to 1050 area. And if I'm going to bring my hourly chart here, my indicator lines have done a really good job on the hourly chart. So this is resistance, and of course these are moving lower. So what's it just telling me is that until we have really some strength happening into that 10 to 1025 area. Now, of course, this is changing every day. This stock isn't ready to go higher. But once we bust above that, we're really setting up to make a nice high to try to go and fill this gap. I mean, it may not be a straight fill up to the gap, but once we do break above at the moment in that 10 to 1025 area with volume, then they would probably be setting this to the 12 to 1250 area. But the problem is, at the moment, the stock could easily be pulling back one more time, even though there's all this optimism, and we could be filling the gap um, right down here, right in the $8 area. So they bring it back down, and that's a very good possibility, especially the hourly chart, or is suggesting this. Now we do have support at 9, so but if BlackBerry decides to crack below $9 a share, it's a good sign that they would want to send this on a short-term basis, which would still be developing the big picture for BlackBerry to go higher to $8. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but based on the action here, unless 9 doesn't hold, and we right now we're in that zone of between, we have a resistance in the 10 to 1025 area. At the same time, we have another gap to fill in the $8 area. And could it go there? Sure it can. And would that be bearish? No, because the big picture is this stock is still in favor of going higher unless we violate anything, uh, which we're nowhere near violating right now. Of course, everything is wait and see for confirmation, right? No matter how bullish, I am bullish the stock. There's bullish reasons. The bottoming pattern here. There's so many bullish reasons between November. This stock has changed. It's bottoming right now, and we still, unlike over here, we have a lot more proof happening between here and here. There's a lot of proof. At the same time, it still needs time, and it's very apparent even on a lot of my time frames that I look at. It simply right now needs to really crack above that 10 to 20, 1025 area on volume, right? And they've also had a lot of problems in the 960, so it's going to trade between 960 and 10. But if we happen to pull back, the good news is that then it would provide better entry points when we can confirm. And I will make updates when necessary. But what I wanted to just talk about in this video is that the odds do favor this to go higher, and we are setting up simply to come and fill up this gap. So there's a tremendous amount of money to be made. I talked about this being a good long-term buy, especially when we broke out on this day, and since then it's gone up tremendously. I've also warned back in the day here in May, when people were really bullish BlackBerry, that we had a lot of resistance, and my technical lines that show a picture do something a lot differently. And basically, they weren't wrong here. They weren't wrong on the last swing we had, the amazing run over here back then, and they haven't been wrong since here. Once we cracked this particular line, which we never did on volume, that was a strong bottoming indication, and it was all other factors as well. Nothing has changed. The stock has made a huge move up. It's chopping. It's patterning, and this is a special report just explaining it. BBRY. BBRY is in favor of going higher, and one of these targets are the gap, and then from there on we'll see what other patterns that occur. In the meantime, it's very possible that they want to fill the gap at 8. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but there's a good chance that they could, depending on especially what happens on Monday. Does the market go lower, and would that pull BlackBerry lower? At the same time, we need to see how 9 is supported. Nonetheless, right now as it stands, the BlackBerry, someone who wanted to go long on confirmation of strength of a pattern, we need to really see how the stock acts in the 10 to 1025 area as it stands now. But every day it changes, and of course, if they pull this back lower, we're probably going to get better buy points in BlackBerry. So there you have the special BlackBerry update. Thanks for listening. Like the video.